Alright everyone, back to action, because today we have impressions for you on 3 of SH Figuarts Super Sentai figures. We're going to go through all 3 of them. It's going to be a little bit different because I don't unbox those figures. I keep them in box. I have a collection of just the red Super Sentai slash Power Rangers in both the English and Japanese versions in the box still. And I wanted to get these 3 to add to the display. And I'm going to do this all at the desk since we're going to do first impressions of how they look in the box, and I'm going to also explain my last impressions of them to you at the same time, because since I'm not opening them, I don't have any further impressions to give you. So I'm going to give it all to you up front as first and last impressions all at once, and then we'll come back and we'll do some final thoughts. But I want to take a minute to go through these because these are very near and dear to me. I enjoy having all these. I do have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers as all the individual ones in the English packaging, and that made me go back and start getting at least the red ones in the Japanese packaging and as their Super Sentai counterparts. And I had got out of it for a little while because I hadn't seen them make any new ones since like the what they call it, the Gokaiger series, or for us it was Power Rangers Megaforce, where they look like pirates. And then all of a sudden, one just popped up on my Amazon feed right before the Christmas holidays a month or so ago, and I started noticing. I was like, wow, what the heck? I need these because there's like 4 out right now that I don't have. So 3 of them were picked up for me for Christmas time as Christmas presents, and because they were presents and because I like them so much, I wanted to do some impressions videos of them, even though we won't have separated first and last impressions because I'm not taking them out and putting them on the shelf. What I will do is at the end of the video, I will go over and take a video of my entire Power Rangers shelf just to share on here with you before we get to final thoughts. With that being said, let's jump right into first impressions. It's morphin' time. All right, everybody, we're back. It's impression time again. This time we're going to be doing a little bit different because I don't actually open these figures when I get on these SH Figuarts. I have a box collection of all red Super Sentai slash Power Ranger figures they've made. Most of them are Super Sentai because they have the Super Sentai wording, the Japanese name, and all this. And I will probably butcher all these as I try to say them. Let's just be perfectly honest. I speak one language, it's Southern. It doesn't translate to everything. But I did want to take a chance. I got all these figures at Christmas because I do collect these, and I had gotten out of picking these up for a while, and I let them build up, and so I picked up 3 of these. So instead of doing first impressions and then coming back later after opening and doing last impressions, I'm going to give you first and last impressions because the only impression I will have will be in the box. I will do that up front for you guys for all 3 of these figures, and we're just going to do them all as one video versus doing separate ones. So let's start here with Kawagata Ogre O'Hare. I'm not sure exactly how to say that, but this is a Red Ranger from a different season, and I shouldn't even say Red Ranger, Red Sentai. I really like this one. He's got a super cool cape and the sword that he can hold. Now, I will say that, and I'll make this comment of all 3 of these SH Figuarts figures that I have, they are vastly different in the fact that the boxes are much slimmer and they come with much less stuff than what I used to get in these. And I got out of these for a while. Like I said, I still wanted to get all of them. It's just they really weren't making too many of the red ones anymore, and I was only doing red figures as well as the original Mighty Morphin I did as a set in the English packaging. But when I did these, I kind of got away from them a little bit and came back now that they have more of them. And honestly, I didn't even realize they were even still making them anymore, and I happened to see one that I still needed, and others popped up, and I was like, wait a minute, I need these too. So I went back and got these, or actually I put them on my Christmas list, and all 3 of them were picked up for me for Christmas from different family members. But let's start here with Kawagata. Again, I probably butchered the name. Let's check out the box. Really cool box art. I like how they used the figure on the box art as well, and extra scenes from the show too. But go check out the side here. Some really cool. I'm not sure exactly what it's. I guess this is their symbol for this season of Sentai, but it's really cool. The figure on the back, as you look at the posing it can do, it's a Figuart, so it's pretty common posing for any Figuarts figure, but I really like the pose in the center here with the cape flared out and the sword upside down. Overall, very good. I'm sure if I was to open these, I'd really enjoy them. I only have one Figuarts figure actually open, and it is a Mighty Morphin Red Ranger, but like I said, these are a box collection set I do, and I only do a box, and I have them all displayed out, so you won't see me open these and get lasting impressions from them, but I wanted to take a chance to just simply walk through these to give it a chance to tell you guys about them. And let's check out the other side of the box before I get away from it. You see Kawagata down there, and it's just overall impressions are this is a really cool looking one. I like the helmet. I like the look of it. Not one I watched the Sentai of, so I don't know the whole story of it, but I like the emblem it has. I like the symbols, the head, the mask. Um, this one I would say is definitely a top tier one for me. So let's pause. Let's take a quick pause and all right, and we're back on the second one of this series of three SH Figuarts Super Sentai figures. This is Don Momotaro, which is the red one from the Don Brothers series. Again, don't know much about it, did not watch it. They did not translate this into an American series. This is one of the last few years. It's a mixed bag. I think it's cool. There's some weird stuff about it. Let's flip around, check out the side of the box. This is a really cool pose for the figure here. I mean, it shows you the flexibility that Figuarts has and what they do. We get around to the back. There's some more posing with the figure. Again, I won't be opening these, so I will give my lasting impressions of all three of these as we're going through them at the same time with first impressions here. The posability on all these is amazing. There's a lot of wording on here I cannot read. Not even going to try to. This side of the box, same as always. It's just a rollover from this one. But on this one, I will say lasting impressions here. This is going to bleed into some final thoughts a little bit, I guess. But the helmet on this one is just, wow. I don't know what they were thinking with this. I mean, maybe it makes sense in a different culture. It's just very strange, and the gun in this one is like humongous. I don't know how he would even hold that thing to fire as a one-handed single-hand gun, but not quite as good as the Quagata O'Hare, I believe, but still pretty cool, and it's a Figuart, so it's still a good figure. I'm not going to demean the figure by any means. It's just kind of a weird look for me. So that kind of winds us up on this one. So let's move on to our last one. And now here we are with our last of our SH Figuarts Super Sentai figures. This is the current season, or well, the season that was ending in 2024 as I was getting ready to record this. I mean, we have rolled into 2025 now. There's a new season coming out. They're pretty cool looking. But this was last year's for 2024. This was Boom Boonger, and I'm not sure if I'm saying it. It's either Boom Boonger or Boon Boonger. I'm not sure which one it actually is. I may have screwed that completely up. Either way, this is the Red Ranger from the season called Boon Red. Very similar to the Don Momotaro. This one is cool. I would say what I've seen cool about this one is that they have made a jacket overlay for it that you can buy, and it actually fits the figure perfectly, which is a secondary look he had on the show where it's kind of like this kind of a racing theme, and they had a racing jacket that goes along with it. If you had the jacket on him, he would be much, much cooler. I would have gave him like 2 or 3 more cool points just for having that. But in this case, it's not terrible. You get the, as usual in the packaging, you get the figure down here. It rolls around to this side, and you can see the road as part of the symbolism there for the racing. The shots on the back, a little bit less dynamic packaging artwork this time. Like, I mean, as far as the posing for the figure, you've got one really dynamic pose here, but the others are just kind of very static, which is unusual because usually they try to get some kind of crazy pose out of them just to show off their as they call it, their simple style heroic action. I'm not really seeing the heroic action in this one. It's very lackluster a little bit on this one. Roll around, again, a very static pose for this figure. I don't know what the deal was, why Figuarts had that, and yes, I have to complain. Amazon, come on guys. You're hurting my inbox collection here. Overall though, lasting impressions of this figure, I think they did an okay job with this one. I'm not sure if there's something off with their articulation. I'm not going to open it, so I'm not going to find out. I just kind of would like to know. I'm going to try and see if I can find some other reviews online, because I'm sure there are some. I just want to see what's up and why they didn't do the posing they usually do. But overall in this figure, while the figure's good, I have to complain. Out of all these that we've seen, King Ogre had a kind of a cool, almost a scorpion-esque type helmet. Don Momotaro had a really weird one that looked like a weird ponytail on the back and this huge visor. But this one takes the cake. This wheel as the visor. I don't care what type of Power Ranger and powers you have. There's no way you're seeing outside of that thing. You better have a great heads-up display, because that is terrible. I mean, it looks good on this figure, and the figure looks accurate. I'm not going to take that away from the figure. It's just, overall, this is the goofiest looking Sentai helmet I have ever seen. All right, guys. As I said, we're going to use this segment of the show as lasting impressions, even though it's not. It's not really focused on just those figures, but I did want to come over here and at least show the shelves where I put my SH Figuarts Mighty Morphin Rangers up here. As I go down, you're going to see more stuff on the shelves, like helmets and stuff. But there's Aqua Ranger from the Figuarts collection. And as we get down here, you're going to see the newer ones we have in place, which Full Eagle's been here for a while, but Boone Red, Kuwagata O'Hare, Ryu Ranger, and Dom Momotaro over here. Along with the bottom shelf, as I said, I do all these as box collection, so really not an opportunity to open them up and give you full lasting final impressions, but I did want to take a step over here and bring it up because they look great on the shelf. That's really the only lasting impression I can give you. They look good with the rest of my box figures. My Forever Red Army over here. Very happy with them and like them. Just can't really say that, hey, the figure is that great, but it is SH Figuarts, so it's typically going to be good. However, as we mentioned, Boone Red has a few issues with articulation being shown on the package, so I don't know if there's articulation issues with him or just the way they did the packaging. And then the helmet on Dom Momotaro is just a little too far out there for me. But beyond that, looks great on the shelves. So now that we've been through all three, and I will bring them all back up here just for a quick glance at them again. We've had all three on camera, talked through all of them for some first and last impressions, but now let's take a moment, let's slide out, and we're going to do some final thoughts. Alright, let's do some final thoughts on these SH Figuarts Super Sentai figures. So I'm going to do this a little bit, again, we got to change a little bit just because we're doing a little bit differently. These are all box figures and not separated. So I'm going to take this and say that, this chance to say that this is both a recommend and a failure. So when we say failure, it doesn't mean that it's bad and it's terrible. It could very well be that case, but it could be, for the most part, we're saying, hey, if there's a fail, that just means that do the typical person really want to go out and spend money on this and pick it up? Probably not. So I say it's a recommend if you are a big fan of Super Sentai beyond just what is Power Rangers in the US and you're a big fan of Sentai and you want to collect them. Figuarts typically does a great figure. I can't really speak to the articulation and how it feels outside the box or anything impressions like when we did Marvel Legends Angel a few weeks ago, we had the opportunity to say it got even better when I got out of the box because of all this articulation. I can't do that this time. We didn't open the box. So what I can say is if you're a big fan, it becomes a recommend to get them just to have them on the shelf like I am. I'm a big fan. It was a recommend for me to get them. Can I say that overall about all of them? No. So if we take them individually, and that's where the failure part comes in. First of all, Kuwagata Ogre, I'd say recommend because I think he's cool and he's got some cool accessories and he's got the cool stance that you can do with him. Boone Red, I would say it's probably a fail. One for the helmet because it's just goofy looking. I realize it is what it is supposed to look like. If it came with the jacket that I have seen that you can purchase for it separately online, it would absolutely be a recommend because that makes it so much more cooler looking. The fact that I have to go buy that separately for another $30, and if I'm not going to open the figure, I can't put it on him and see that it looks good on him besides the pictures I see online, that doesn't do me any good. So it's still a fail. And I get the Figuarts is trying to do more stuff with effects and extra accessory stuff as separate packaging, but I don't want to go pay more for it. When I pay for that thing that I want it to have all the stuff that it should have with it. And the fact that you didn't give me that with it, and the fact that on the box for Boone Red, there doesn't seem to be a lot of dynamic action poses, makes me wonder if there's something wrong with the posability of it. I wouldn't think so because they shouldn't, as far as I know, they haven't changed any of their articulation, so if they haven't, it should work fine. But I have seen articulation fails on their part before. The one Mighty Morphin Red Ranger that I have that was open, I bought it as a loose figure. It had only been out of the box once, and the guy warned me, he's like, look, every time I open it and move an arm, the arm wants to pop out of the socket. You really can't get it into great poses. And he wasn't wrong. I finally got it to stay a little bit better. Maybe it just needed some elbow grease, but at the same time, that was a fail on their part, and I think that may be a case with this Boone Red since we didn't get a bunch of dynamic posing on the packaging, which is very unusual for them. Now, let's jump over to the third one, Don Momotaro, and I will say that that one is a failure, not because I think the posing was bad, because the posing looked like it was all there on the box, but more so because it's just a weird looking helmet. The rest of the suit's actually not bad and I can get along with, but the helmet and the gun, if I was collecting these to have open and put on the shelf, I would only be doing it because I was doing all the Red Rangers, which is the reason I got it in box, to be perfectly honest, to begin with. So I guess it's kind of a fail in any aspect you look at it, because it's not one that I really care about or that I would want that much. However, I don't want to turn off anyone who would want to get them just to have the set. So if you're getting them to have a collection, or you are a fan of any of those shows and you've seen them all, in that case, absolutely a recommend. It is a little pricey. They range from 50 to $70. I got one of them for 38 because I got it on a sale for Christmas time on Amazon, or the person who bought it for me did, actually. I shouldn't say I did because I didn't buy it, but a family member did, and they got it on sale for 38 because it was like, oh, I found it and I added it to my wish list, and they picked it up. So while it was still on sale. So in that case, yeah, it's a recommend. But for the price of these, the typical Figuarts price is that 60 to 80 buck range. You're going to pay that for these. So if you're not a big fan, fail. If you're a big fan, recommend. So thanks for watching, and if you were debating on getting any of these three figures, we hope that our take on them helped inform your decision. Now, if you enjoyed this or any of our other content from Stay Word Network, please like and subscribe. And if you want to check us out on any of our other channels, any of our co-hosts, go check them out. You can find Big Rob on Big Rob's House of Entertainment and No Chinese Food, Chris Daly on Fueled by Weird Podcast, wherever you find your podcasts, and myself and Hassel on the Nerdy Mandarin Show channel, on the Nerdy Mandarin Show Together, or Hassel on Hassel's Reviews. Join us here next time for our next impressions.